The Above the Rim Report, brought to you by STR Nomads, your home when you roam, and hosted by Jayton Hackley.
Welcome back to the Above the Rim Report. I'm your host, Jayton Hackley, and I'm here with guests Cam Lowe and Tristan Hurdle. Say what's up, guys.
What's up? How we doing?
Before we get into it, I just want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, STR Nomads, your home when you roam. Thank you guys for sponsoring this episode. And with that being said, let's get right into the episode. So like I said previously, we're here with Cam and Tristan. Just want to kind of introduce them a little bit. So let's start with you, Tristan. Just give us a little bit of information about yourself, kind of where you're from, and kind of how you got into playing basketball.
From the Denver area, and getting into basketball, I've been playing probably since I was 3 years old. Dad taught me to play at a young age, and I've just been playing everywhere I've lived at, in Georgia and out here, and Denver, Colorado, so just playing all the time.
Nice. How about you, Cam?
Yeah, I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Me and Jayton grew up playing against each other. I will say I think he did get the better of me and my teams growing up. But, basketball kind of started early for me. My dad played at Kansas, and my mom played at University of Washington in St. Louis. So them being college basketball players, there's kind of no choice. You know, you put a basketball in the crib, and if you don't like it, well, too bad, you're going to play anyway. So that's kind of how I started. And then, fortunately for me, I really enjoy it, and I love it. So still doing it today.
Yeah, I love to hear that. I got the best of you in those matchups. To be fair, I did have a lot better of a team growing up, but
Yeah, you had a squad.
we did have a squad, but no, that's good stuff. So next thing I want to ask you guys is what brought you guys to BH, and kind of just talk about your journey to get to BH.
My journey was probably a little bit longer than some people's, but I started at CSU Pueblo. Coach Thompson recruited me out of high school, and I ended up going to Pueblo. And then I ended up going to Fort Lewis after I had back surgery. Thompson tried to get me to go there again, and I ended up going to Fort Lewis. And then after 1 year at Fort Lewis, I ended up going to BH, so third time's a charm, I guess you could say. But yeah, I've been all over the place, but definitely found a home here.
Nice. How about you, Kim?
Yeah, I also had a longer journey than most here. Out of high school, I committed to the Air Force Academy, which ended up not working out. So I kind of found myself going to CSU, Colorado State University, and I did a year there where I did my red shirt, and then kind of just didn't really fit either way there. I wanted to have a place where I could, come and play and, be a part of winning culture. And that turned out to be, Black Hills State, obviously, now that I'm here. But that was just a great opportunity being in the portal. Coach Thompson reaching out. He recruited me a little bit in high school, so we knew of each other. And then, building that relationship starting then.
Nice. And you said Air Force Academy. I personally don't know what that's really like, and I'm sure the folks at home don't really know what that's like. So kind of give us kind of what a day-to-day life would look at the Air Force Academy.
Oh boy. So after basic training, of course, where basic training is like they're yelling at you, they shave my head like completely bald. You're doing push-ups and like the movies that you kind of see. After that, it would be you kind of wake up in the morning, probably 5:30, 6 a.m., and you'd have some military requirement to do. Like sometimes it was just marching, sometimes it was PT, which was like just training, make you do a bunch of push-ups, stuff like that. And then you'd have to go to breakfast all as a group. Then you'd go to the classes were ridiculous. One time I had chemistry, physics, biochem, and then calculus in the same day. So you go 3 or 4 classes, and then you go to practice, right? And then like whatever your practice or weightlifting, and then after that you have like other military requirements. Like we had to clean the whole place every day. Like you had people yelling at you to clean. So like my detail was like at times like laundry. I'd do everybody's laundry, and then other times that detail was like cleaning the bathrooms. And so like legitimate like boot camp during the day, like wear the uniform, you get yelled at for walking, like if you're not walking the right way, stuff like that. So, you know, like walking to class, you had to be at attention, which basically means like straight up, you can't look around, like locked in, walking to class, which I just thought was like the dumbest thing. But there's a rhyme and reason, just not for camp.
It's not for camp. You feel like that like kind of benefited you in a way of like just how you approach life or see life, or just that just didn't help you at all?
No, I learned a ton from that experience, especially some of my classmates and peers and why they went to the military. Like learning their backgrounds makes you appreciate what you have in the life that you've been given. And so that was big for me in terms of my perspective and seeing what life is like for other people, and it's also like what it helped me decide kind of what I wanted with my life. Although I didn't want the military, like it gave me an opportunity to kind of really like look internally and be like, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want to do? And I've only got this one time. And so it was really big for like a growing year for me. Not necessarily basketball wise, but as a holistic person.
Well, that's good. It's good to grow as people, and you know, even if it's not from basketball, growing as people is really good. Now I want to transition to Tristan. Now, Tristan, you've been at 3 or 2 other schools, right?
Yeah, 3 total.
So what is different about being at BH as opposed to those other schools?
I think just like the culture that we have is huge. Other places just didn't necessarily have that. And I just feel like the people we have on the team is just great. Like we all have great teams. You know, I'm not saying that the other places didn't, but you know, you might have your outliers that just are there for themselves or not there for the team. You know, but so I would say that like have a great culture and everybody's just a great dude. They put the team first and want to win.
Nice. I want to transition a little bit away from basketball for a little bit. So we obviously play basketball a lot, spend a lot of time on the court and just with each other. But what are your guys' favorite things to do outside of basketball?
Yeah, just chilling and watching movies or TV shows. Just try to relax on my free time.
But you can. I mean, you would know we hit the links every now and then. I really like the golf. Not any good, but
in the summer, yeah.
During the summer,
we play a lot.
Golf's pretty fun. And you know, out here it's kind of it's nice time, good places to golf. But I say I like to golf, and in the winter I'm not gonna lie, I hunker down, play a lot of video games, watch a lot of movies.
Don't go outside much in the winter.
Yeah, no.
Summer
we'll be outside. Like we'll go hike and go to the lake. Like I do really enjoy that stuff. But you know, not as much when it's 20 degrees outside.
Yeah, this weather we've been having up here has not been.
It's actually been good.
It's been good.
It's been really nice.
Right. The past couple of days though have kind of been. I kind of missed
back to reality a little bit.
Yeah. We had a nice little stretch there where it was like 60 degrees, which wasn't too long.
In November.
Yeah.
Once you get to those negative numbers, though, that's when I'm not leaving.
Yeah. That is, hey, that walk to practice or class is tough when you're dealing with that. So we kind of talked about stuff outside of basketball a little bit. Well, right now we're 6-1. If you guys didn't already know that, how are you guys feeling about the season so far? Just on like a team level, and then kind of just on like an individual level, like how you're feeling about yourself and that dynamic. Somebody. Yeah.
I'm gonna switch it up.
So first and foremost, I'm really proud of the group, and especially the new guys who have kind of come into a situation that is foreign to them, and they've been able to adjust to how we do things and the standard we kind of have set at Black Hills by, you know, those before us, even those teams that you were on Final Four, like that level. So I've been proud of those guys and the way they've been playing, and just how they've risen to the occasion and risen to the opportunity. And then I just like the commitment we have to the right things. I don't see anybody having negative attitudes about their performances when we win, and I don't see anybody like being upset when they maybe not having a game where they got as much opportunity and stuff. And that's hard to do. Having guys that are genuinely happy for others when they succeed is really cool. That's something that I love to see. Like for you, example, having your career night. If you don't know, Jaden Hackley, 11, 12, 29 points last night against mine. And nobody on the team was like everybody was so happy for Jaden, no matter what happened to them in that game. And I think I've been very happy with that as a group, and I just hope we can continue to, build that chemistry and work hard and compete and, get wins. And then personally, it's just trying to keep my feet where I'm at and like focus on just the next play and the next, because if you follow fans, I did not have a great start shooting the ball. I was atrocious from the field, and it was hard to not let that affect my mindset. Like now you're overthinking your shot or overthinking out there, and you just can't play that way. So for me, I've had a very good, it's been really rewarding to have that kind of expectation that I was going to come out and just be hot at the beginning of the year, not go well, because then I've had to shift my mindset and refocus on the things that matter, like competing, making the right play, not worrying about makes and misses, and that's led to overall just playing more like myself. So that's kind of just what I've gone through in this short part of the season.
Yeah. And me and Cam have had talks just about after our first couple of weekends, neither one of us really shot it great, and we both know what we're capable of. I know what he can do, he knows what I can do, and just those talks of just our shot is gonna come, and those shots are gonna start falling, and you just have to keep remaining confident and just trusting yourself, because it's actually a disservice if we don't take those shots, those wide open ones. And I mean, when you're on and it feels good, it's a good feeling, but when you're kind of going through that rough stretch where you're not really hitting shots, or it's kind of hard to keep playing the right way and keep doing the things the right way. But I think that's definitely an important piece of the game, is having a good mindset, no matter what's whether you're making shots or missing shots, or how many mistakes you make is a big part of the game. Tristan?
Yeah, I'll piggyback. Just for the team aspect, I think we have what are we, a schematic seminar? Piggyback off what you said.
I was gonna say the assistant coach.
Come on, bro. Yeah, piggyback it off what?
No, I mean, Kim really said it all, but I mean, the team is great. We all are happy for each other, and it's tough when you have a really deep team. Everybody's going to say, oh, well, it should be my turn and all this, but we don't have that, which means we have a really special group. Our mindset is good as a group. And then, I mean, individually for me, it's been huge, just for my time being at BH, just for mindset, with injuries that I've had, just being grateful for being able to be out there on the court, and just whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Sometimes you don't have control over it. So just do the best you can do, and then let the chips fall where they will.
And can I say, your injuries?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Go ahead.
There's a lot going on with Tristan. He's kind of getting up there in the age. But he has some back issues. What else do you have? Foot issue, neck issue, foot, neck.
There's a lot.
Pretty much everything is falling apart.
But to his credit, though, he still finds a way, straps up those laces, and finds a way to compete and give us huge minutes night in and night out, which is impressive. I live with Tristan, for those who may not know, and I kind of see the background of what he has to go to prepare his body. And, he comes out and is the same dude pretty much every time. And that's a big, tribute to him and the effort he puts in.
And I want to also say, I'll piggyback what we were talking about for you. Tristan will have nights, and I've talked about this with him a lot too, is he'll have nights where he'll be 0 of 3 or 0 of 4 from the 3-point line, and then that'll be the first half, and then the second half he'll hit 5 threes in a row, or the next game he's hitting 5 threes in a row. So Tristan, talk to us a little bit about your mindset, when you're shooting the ball, and if you're having an off night, how do you kind of like just think about like the next shot and not let that miss or misses affect you?
I mean, it's right there. Just focus on the next shot. I mean, trust the work you put in, right? I mean, you were all here this summer, put in work. Like, we know we're good players, so I think that's just the main thing is just come out. Like, yeah, you might miss a bunch of them, but statistically, right? Like, if you're shooting a good percentage, like, you're going to make a couple in a row, like, once you get it going. So, and especially once you start feeling it, then you're going to feel really good, and your shot's not going to change. Some people, when they try to shoot, like, I mean, once you start missing, you just try to change your shot, but, I mean, just try shooting like, I guess, like you're not missing, right? Because when you're not missing, you're shooting it and not even thinking about it. You're just shooting it and being comfortable. So just trying to have that mindset. Like every shot is the same shot, kind of.
I'm gonna have to write that down. Put it on my notebook.
Hey, always shoot like you've been making it. Always shoot like it's going in.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. You guys also didn't know this guy led the nation in, was it 3-point percentage?
Yeah.
In 3-point percentage. So if you guys ever need some help with shooting the ball, hit up Hurdle Hoops.
Shout out Hurdle Hoops, baby.
But I also wanted to go back to just like how our team has been just like adapting and just doing their best to adjust to how Coach Thompson coaches and just all the stuff that he throws at us. So you guys being like in your second year here, talk about like just like the level of difficulty it is like when Thompson is giving us all this information and just like how that can be challenging for like a first year guy.
It's definitely a lot of information just for, I guess, our offense. Like, it just takes a lot of IQ, and once you get it down, it's easy. Just knowing, like, where you're supposed to be at on the court. But I guess defensively, too, it's a lot because sometimes we might be in, like, 3 different coverages in one possession, or you never know. Yeah. But just, I guess, always being locked in, I guess, is, like, my key to it. You know, like, once you relax, then you're going to be screwed. So just being locked in, I think, is a message for the new guys. But, yeah.
Anything to add to that, Ken?
Yeah, I would say, without trying to like give too much, if like, you know, Shattering or whoever wants to watch this podcast, like we have to, you know, come in the way the offense in which we play is designed to attack people in different ways. So I think it's hard when you're a new guy to understand. Like usually your role is pretty. At other schools, like it's going to be kind of set in stone what you do. And here you have to be able to, all right, if we know they're switching, what do we have to do to attack that? What's going to look like different than when they're dropped, when they're hedged, when they're trapped? And you have to be able to think while playing out there, but not like be tentative. And that's kind of hard to think the game and also be aggressive. There's a line, and that I would say isn't always like that at every school. And I think it makes us very hard to guard offensively. And then defensively, he just throws a lot of information. You got to know sets. You got to be locked in on scout. Like you have to understand that stuff. And it can be somewhat overwhelming, and that's what I felt my first year, especially early. I remember sitting there early on. I hadn't been playing well, and I'm like, bro, it feels I don't even know how to play basketball anymore. And I actually said that to people. And so the fact that those guys have come in and like kind of just clicked right away is, I think,
it's impressive.
They've done a good job. So,
yeah.
Especially guys like Willie coming from JUCO, like it's harder in junior college. You have to be able to, you know, it's a little bit different style of basketball. So,
yeah.
So that's kind of what I'd say. Like, in a look for those watching, like, kind of looking at the minds of what we're doing out there, what we're processing. Like that turnover that you're mad about in the stands. Like I promise you, did not mean to happen. Like a lot of stuff going on. You're thinking about it. Like, so that's what I'd say. It's been kind of the nuance here and what's supposed to be like difference between first and second year.
And I think like it's a good point to mention like even though Thompson is throwing a lot of information and stuff at us, like he knows the game really well and he does like a great job scouting teams. And like if you do the things that are being asked of you, like ultimately it's going to end in like more positive for us than the other team. So
yeah, shout out the assistants too. They do
scout stuff. Yeah.
They shout out the assistants, man. They do a lot of work too.
Coach Mack, Coach Gabaris,
Coach Brown.
Thank you guys for what you do. Here's your little shout out. Moving right along. Who do you guys kind of model your game after? And then if you don't model your game after someone, who is someone that you like to watch or enjoy watching?
I always tell people just Klay Thompson because I don't necessarily like dribble the ball that much. I just shoot it. So I mean that's probably my answer. But yeah, I mean I've always just said Klay Thompson, but enjoying to watch people. I mean I just like watching basketball in general. But a guy I like to watch is Luka, just because of his pace. Like he's not the fastest guy, but he can still get to his spot. Or like Devin Booker, like he's always getting to his spot, like another shooter. Like has a lot of mid-range game, but you know he's going to get to that mid-range, but you don't know how he's going to get there. But he's going to find his way. Mm-hmm. So
I want to hear your answer after mine. This is a good question. I'd say for me, I haven't like watched someone and tried to model myself after, but someone that I really like watching and that I see similarities in my game too, and I try to be more like his Cade Cunningham, just because he's a bigger guard. Like he's 6'7" or 6'8", handling the ball, and he's able to come off and he can kind of do a bit of everything. Like he can pass the ball, he can finish, he rebounds, he also shoots it. Like him being able to do everything at his size is really impressive, and that's kind of what I try to do in my own way, is be a bit of someone who can do anything that's needed in the game, when using my size and physicality.
That's a good answer. I actually like that for you. Okay,
don't connect anymore.
I mean, he was like nice in college, but now he like doesn't really play in the league. So modeling or some game after someone who's like not that good in the league, yeah. I feel like, you know. But in college, Tennessee.
D1 player of the year.
Yeah. I'm not saying. I'm not saying he's not nice, but like half the people, like if 90% of people, if I'm like, yeah, Dalton Connect, they're gonna look at me and be like, who?
Pat the.
Yeah. So I try to make it a little bit just more understanding, and then K dominates the ball a little bit more, and that this year is something I've done. It's just be more on ball. So that kind of is also why that changed a little bit, because I want to handle the ball a little bit more, be better in ball screens and stuff like that.
I model my game after. This is a tough one for me because
Who leads the league in fouls? Because that's
that is not me. I'm actually not leading the team in fouls this year. I'm not taking that.
You know who it is?
I should have looked that up before. I didn't think you were gonna ask. I mean, name
I was talking about like the league, like NBA. Whoever leads the NBA fouls, just so you can model your game after.
That's not me. But anyway, I was gonna say like.
Bro, you had 2 whole conversations to think about this, and you couldn't come up with something.
I was just thinking about like how I'm gonna ask you guys the questions. I didn't really think about my answer, but I think like that's my first show. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Hey, next episode I'll be better prepared. Yeah. No, I think like some people I enjoy watching and like I try to emulate some of their stuff is obviously Kyrie Irving. Like I think what he does with the ball is just incredible, and I don't think there's like going to be anybody else like him. I also like watching Damian Lillard play, but I think someone like that I kind of like is like De'Aaron Fox. I just like I'm fast and like I can get like others involved, but like when I need to like go get a bucket, like I can go get a bucket. So. I guess that would be my.
De'Aaron Fox is a little bit bigger than you, but
no, he's not.
He's like 6'6". You're like
he is
5.
Not 6'6".
You're like 5'11".
I don't know.
He's not 6'6".
I'm exaggerating. I'm sorry, guys. That's me being rude.
Cam's always trying to like throw these like short jokes at me all the time, but it's all love.
Kyrie would have been my guess. I'm not gonna lie.
Kyrie.
You always got to shoot.
Yeah, like those small guards, dude.
Those small guards. You wanted me to say like Muggsy Bogues or something? Huh?
Yeah. Him or like Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas would have been good. He's actually him at the Celtics.
Celtics Isaiah Thomas. I know that was for some of our fan base. They might think in like IT Pistons. I'm being Celtics Isaiah Thomas. Just clarifying.
The better one. No, let me not say that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, let me not say that. So we kind of talked a little bit about like preparation, or you talked about his preparation before the game. But I just kind of want to hear from both of you, like what your preparation looks like, kind of in like more detail. You can start like game day or just like the whole week if it's a whole week type of process, but just kind of what your process is, like how you approach the game.
Before the game, I like to listen to music, and I used to always listen to J. Cole, but now it's kind of branched out a little bit more.
Shout out, Mac.
Yeah, shout out, Mac. But no, I kind of just try to be in a good mindset is what I focus on. Like I'll meditate before the game, just try to keep my emotions like calm, because I feel like the more like I have emotions in it, or if I don't meditate, like I just get way up here, and then it's kind of hard to think, I guess, compared to if I can just be calm, then I can focus and be more like IQ ready for the game, if that makes sense. And I can just focus on not necessarily like, just I guess being present is the biggest thing. Like I can focus on being present. So.
That's a good answer, Cam.
I'd say for me, like a lot of it has to do with just getting my body prepped. It's different on away games versus home games, because home games you're obviously not traveling. You're not going back to a hotel. You're getting your team like the same team meal before. So like, but usually it's going to be looking like before, especially before the girls' games, and you're doing some type, like I do a hip mobility routine and a posterior chain activation thing for with like bands and stuff, and just doing all this stuff to get my muscles activated. So like I go out there and perform, like that's something that's going to be necessary both home and away. And we bring stuff for away games so that I can get that done. And then like mentally, it's trying to like detach from the emotion, kind of like Tristan said. Because if you get so involved, like if I get too pumped up or like anything like that, sometimes you just get out there and you're not thinking, you're just over. You kind of play it up your head, so trying to like settle myself down. And I don't know, that changes. Like I listened to like house music a couple days ago before the game, and then this time around I was listening to like Rod Wave again. Like it kind of just depends on whatever mood I'm in, but just something that can kind of just, keep me somewhat calm and excited, but not like over pressure. Putting too much pressure with like my mental preparation can sometimes throw me off.
I agree with that. I think like one thing that I've learned is like listening to music to get you hyped up all the time isn't always like what you need to play the game to the best of your ability. So like if you're too high, then you're going out like you said, and you're just like you're brain dead and you're just running around doing whatever. I think there's like a balance and just like figuring out like what you need before the game. Like the Mines game, like that's obviously like a big game, like usually a lot of people there, rivalry game. It's better to listen to something to like, you're already going to be amped up to play that game and your nerves are going to be all over the place. So listen to something like just to calm you down or kind of ease your nerves a little bit, I think is the best way to go about it. And, one thing I like that you said is like the meditating. Even if it's just like for like 5 minutes before the game, like I think meditating is huge. And even like outside of game days, like just meditating and just making sure you're in like the right headspace, just like throughout the week is, I think, like essential to just being at your best and performing to the best of your ability. Next thing I want to ask you guys, what's something you do well on the court and something that you want to improve?
I'd say I shoot the ball pretty well.
I would say that too.
That's just the obvious one. But something I want to improve on. Last year, so I feel like not crazy things I can improve on, but I guess just being like locked in defensively. Just have like, I guess, not a lot of mistakes. Just try to lower that to best of the ability, because we're not perfect, but being locked in on scout and everything like that, like not giving threes to certain guys or whatnot, but just trying to change the game when I'm in there, I guess.
I'd say I'm pretty solid all around. I'd say defensively is probably where I need to make like the biggest improvement. I'd say like at times I'm pretty much a cone, and I feel like I've made a big improvement there. And I want to keep getting better defensively, be able to like get switched on to the best player and like do a job there. And I'd say that, and just being more efficient. And whether more efficient on offense, and that doesn't necessarily mean scoring, that might mean passing, like being more efficient, like getting guys with more open shots, making strikes, making the right read more consistently, whether that's like scoring or passing. So probably just be better efficient, and then just keep improving defensively.
Yeah, I think for me, I think I do a pretty good job of like getting my teammates involved and just like having an understanding for like what coach wants and like who he wants to attack and who he wants to go at. I think like for me, like something for me to improve on is just like staying out of foul trouble.
I was about to say.
I think like me staying out of foul trouble is like the biggest thing. Like if I stay out of foul trouble, then I can be on the court more and I can impact the game more. You can't really impact the game if you're sitting on the bench. So
no, you can. You absolutely can.
Okay.
Your bench energy, your talk, those make an impact.
You're right. I take that back.
Yeah. No, you better not be on the bench moping about it because you got your third foul again.
Absolutely not. That is never.
I just want that to be known. All right.
You better not be sitting down.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not going to foul, so I won't be in that position. But if I ever am in that position, you will not see that out of me. Next thing I want to talk about is just a little bit like about your guys' like family, kind of that dynamic. I know Cam, you mentioned like both your parents played basketball, had a basketball in your hand really young, but kind of just talk about like your family dynamic and kind of just how that shaped you to be like the person you are today.
Yeah, well, I got two younger brothers who, like, those are my dogs. One of my middle brother, he is 6'8", so he's been holding that over me for the last 3-4 years since he got taller. Like he's been pretty proud of that one. And then I got another brother, and he plays at a Division III school in Wisconsin. And then I got another brother who's in high school, and he's doing a great job, and he's really, really smart, and he's fun to be around. But both my parents, they work pretty hard growing up, especially, my parents were at work a lot, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, but they showed me what it takes to, succeed in whatever aspect of life that is. My parents, they busted their tail to provide for me and my brothers, and then they didn't expect anything less from me and my brothers. It was always, it was kind of understood in my family that you need to do the best at whatever it is. And that's school, that's sports, that's whatever it is. Like, I remember the school play, which I was not very happy to be in. Like, I didn't want any part of the school play, and that you could see that when I was out there. Like, I was pouting at the school play, like in the background, and my parents were upset because they were like, that's a disservice to the people that do care about those things. And they said, you have to give your best at whatever you do. And so that was kind of something that they always, I get to showcase that in basketball now. But that's something I think I take over, like, the biggest thing in every part of my life, whether it's school, whether it's, my relationships, whether it's my on the court performance. Like, I think them raising me that way, like, I expect myself to be the best and also give the best effort I could possibly give in everything. And so yeah, that's kind of how like my parents were, and then I'm grateful for that. I don't know a lot of like other families that kind of had that standard. So I'm really happy that they did that for me and gave me that opportunity to just taught me those things about life. And I think it set me up pretty nicely. Well, I'm not talking crazy, but like if I obviously keep doing that, like I think it'll benefit me in the future.
Well, for me, like, I kind of grew up a single child, or only child. I don't know, single child, only child. But I have an older sister. She's 12 years older than me, and I have a younger sister that's 18 years younger than me. So technically not only child, but
Nothing. I'm not gonna say that. My bad.
So I definitely grew up in, being the only kid in the house, but I was able to learn a lot. My dad played for the U.S. handball national team, European handball. It's not very popular, but he was on that standard for the Olympic level kind of. So he kind of knew what it took to be at a high level for sports. And my mom was a nurse, so she didn't necessarily understand as much as what it was like to be that high level. But, growing up, she always tell me, always be good in grades first. Like, you're a student athlete, student comes first. Like, there was times growing up where it's like, oh, you missed school, you weren't practicing today. So it kind of encouraged me to be good in the classroom first and just like always do your best no matter what it was. Kind of just like what Cam said too, just a little bit different aspect. But like they were always, doing their best just to provide for me to make sure that I could be at basketball or be at football or whatever I wanted to do. They were going to, do it 100% and just provide for me. So that kind of showed me that like when I have kids, like I know what to do. Like I got to be there 100% for them. So I learned a lot.
Did you learn a lot from your 9 brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I was. So I grew up with 8 siblings, which is kind of uncommon nowadays, but yeah, that's. But yeah, I think I learned a lot about kind of like myself. I think it kind of taught me to be like selfless and, like you're not like the only person, like the world doesn't revolve around you. And I think also with that, like I kind of learned to be pretty independent at like a younger age, because like as I was growing up, like my mom and dad had to take care of like whoever the baby was at the time, or like the younger child, like someone else like always needed something. And like I think that taught me to like do things for myself, and like you don't always need to ask for help. Obviously if you need help, ask for help with anything, but I kind of figured out like how to handle things on my own, and I feel like it like made me mature a little bit more, or at like a faster rate. But yeah, and I think like another thing I learned too from my parents is like, my mom told me kind of at like a young age, like if you want to go to college, like you're gonna have to work. And she's like, I'm not paying for your college. Like you see how many siblings you got? Like I'm not paying for your college. So I kind of just took that and I'm like, I'm gonna go get my college paid for. I'm gonna go, give 100% to. And it just happened to be basketball, but if I wanted to be like on the rowing team or something like that, like I was gonna go like all out with that. So I think like just like instilling that work ethic in me, and like just like if you want something, like you're gonna have to work for it, and just putting the time in to do that is what I probably learned most about from my childhood growing up. So. Couple more questions I have for you guys. So we have Shattern State tomorrow night. Played Mines last night. Just some quick thoughts. I know we're getting ready for Shattern, obviously, and looking at what's next, but kind of just a couple thoughts on the Mines game. How it felt being out there, and just some thoughts on the game that you guys have.
Yeah, being here my first year, I didn't really understand kind of the competitive nature behind that game and how long it's happened at Black Hills like that. I think even football at some point got a mention on like ESPN. Like it's a big deal to the people out here and the community out here, and those in each of the respective schools. In the first year, I'm not saying I didn't care, but like I didn't understand or feel it like internally. And definitely after, unfortunately, losing last year and that feeling, and then what it was like from those in Spearfish that are supporters and like those who've been at the school, and like how much it meant to them, I was like, man, like I really want to go win this there was a bit of pride and wanted to win for the community and win for the school, and because it's a big deal. And so I was just really happy that we were able to come out and play with no fear and just compete our tails off. And I thought we did that. And it was tough. They had a player who played really well, and they had some, things go wrong in the first half, and I was just happy we just kind of stuck with it. And eventually I think it was just too much. And we just kept competing, we kept working, and eventually, obviously we had some guys with some special performances like yourself, but I think eventually it warmed down, and that turned into like a 28-point win. So I was just really proud of our effort and just staying the course, and I hope we continue to do that throughout the year, because I think we have the pieces to win a lot of the games if we just continue to compete and stay the course and play hard, not change up. I think if it's on us, like every night we give ourselves a chance. So I like that I'm confident our group, if we control what we can control moving forward too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was huge for us as a group, just because earlier in the year we had somebody go crazy against us, and that might have affected how we came out in the second half. And we weren't necessarily locked in. We're kind of thinking about that and weren't staying to the course, like you said. But I felt like last night, we came out, we're like, no, it's going to be different. We're going to be even more locked in, and we're going to shut down. So I think it was just big for the team just to know how to face adversity like that. But I mean, the biggest thing is we can't think about it too much now. We got another game tomorrow. That's the most important thing, is the next game. So win one at a time.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Cam, definitely a big game for just the people in the area, and that game means a lot to them. But yeah, I mean, I was really proud of how we came out in the second half. I think they were kind of hanging with us in that first half, and if you look at the score in that first half, and you're like, oh, this is a good game. But like you said, we just stuck with it, and I think the difference with us is we're not gonna beat you with some guy going off for 50 points. We got people everywhere that can score. We got people everywhere that can defend, and I think that's what's most scary about our group is we have a collective group, and any given night somebody could go off. But we with that, we also have a lot of guys who are locked in and bought into what we're doing defensively and offensively. But yeah, like you said, Tristan, that's in the past now. We got to move on, and we got a good matchup against Shattern State tomorrow, 7:00 at A2 Arena. First home game. What are your guys' thoughts on the game tomorrow, and how excited are you guys to play a home game finally?
I'm glad to be home. It's been a lot of travel. But no, I mean, I'm excited just to be in our own gym again. It's been a while, and just excited for that, but just excited to play. It's another rival game. They think it's a rival. I don't know how it is for us. I think last night was more of a rival, but still another rival game. We just got to be ready to go from the jump and just focus on that game.
Yeah, I think the biggest part that I'm looking forward to, don't get me wrong, I get excited for every game, but we played in a few places. Alpine, Texas had maybe 4 people in the stands last year, and then this year, Bismarck, North Dakota, playing Minot had 20. And when you just hear the ball bounce and everything coach is saying, and it's just in a quiet gym, don't get me wrong, I'm so excited, but there's just not as much energy and juice in the place. And I would say Black Hills State does it right in terms of people show up, it's loud, and there's good energy in the building, and that's just something that's really enjoyable to play as a player. And I'm looking forward to just looking out there, seeing the stands down there, and be it's filled, there's energy in this building. And then I just think, honestly, it makes your adrenaline go, and you're not as tired, which is kind of a W. So I'm just looking forward to being home with our community and our support. It's definitely big time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the support here is unlike any other place. I think Tristan can attest to that with being at 2 different schools. But yeah, the fans here are ridiculous, and I mean, they show out and they come support. So we appreciate all the fans, and we hope to see you guys tomorrow night. And then kind of last thing I want to end with is, what would your advice be to just younger players or basketball players, like just aspiring to be, college athletes? What would your advice to them be?
My advice would be that there's always somebody else out there probably working twice as hard as you. So don't get comfortable with saying, "Oh, I'm the best in this area." Like, that was something my dad always told me. It's like, yeah, you could be pretty good in this state, but somebody over in California is probably even better. Like, you're competing with that guy for a scholarship too. Like, so you can always be better. So just focusing on always working hard no matter what.
Yeah, I think my advice to a young player would just be a student of the game. Obviously, everybody at the college level can play. Everybody can, everybody coming from high school was probably the best player or maybe second best player on their team. And when you get a bunch of best players on one team, everybody can't be the guy. So, if you're aspiring to play in college, obviously work on your game, and you're going to have to work hard to get here. But I think the other part of that is when you do get here is, just find your niche, find what the team needs and just go out and do that. And then once you do that and you start building trust with that coach, then you can start expanding on your role, and that's how you kind of become this bigger player, if that makes sense. For example, when I came in, in high school I was the guy, but when you come in on a team that just went to the Final Four, that, my goal wasn't to go score 20 and lead the team and all that stuff. My role was to be really good defensively and just to lock in on scout and just play super hard was my goal.
Pass it to Joel.
And then Joel Scott.
Get Joel Scott the ball.
Yeah, that one's pretty easy.
Yeah. Worked out great because, my assist numbers were up giving the ball to that guy. It didn't matter who was guarding him, but no, just finding what your role is and what the team needs, I think is a big part of playing in college.
Yeah, my biggest piece of advice outside of you gotta bust your tail and work hard. I think that's kind of given, especially when you get to college. Everybody does that. My biggest thing is get in a weight room. Especially if you're in high school. When you get to college, all of a sudden nowadays you're playing 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds sometimes, and you're going to come in at 18, right? So I'd say get in a weight room. That's just something that I'd say was huge for me. Is I wasn't ready physically when I came into to college. And then the other thing is don't put too much pressure on yourself. At the end of the day, it is a game, and you have to play it for the right reasons. If you want to, if you're playing, let's say you want to play a college sport because you think it's going to get you the girls, or it's going to make you popular, or external factors, it's going to be really hard to be successful. But if you play it because you love competing and you just love the game and you have so much fun and you love being on a team, those things are probably going to lead you to being more successful. So I'd say understand that it's a game and play it for the right reasons. Don't play it because mom and dad told you so, or because you think you need to do this. Play it because it's what you want and it's what you want to do. And I think you'll probably end up getting the most out of it in that sense. So
that's a good answer. We want to thank you guys for tuning into the Above the Rim report. Once again, thank you for our sponsors, STR Nomads, your home when you roam. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Tristan and Cam, for being here. Really appreciate you guys coming on. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The Above the Rim report, brought to you by STR Nomads, your home when you roam, and hosted by Jayton Hackley.